Adam.
What? What? What?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه. Alhamdulillah, today is finished 10, day number 10 of Ramadan. A third of Ramadan has been in our record. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our fasting, to accept our prayers, to accept our supplication, to accept our Qur'an, to accept our righteous deed. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure us from COVID-19 outbreak. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the winner of Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to free us from the hell of fire during this month, inshallah. Today, we're going to cover, inshallah, Juzz number 10. Juzz number 10. And it's very, very, in Islam history, very important event happens. The event of Battle of Badr, the first battle in Islam between the Muslims and Quraysh. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given clear victory for the Muslims when they don't have the means to even stand against the mighty power of Quraysh. But this is Allah subhanahu with the believers. When the one believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believe in the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in his prophet, the Prophet, then the support of Allah, the help of Allah will come. And even as the Quran tells us in this Juzz number 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even sent malaika, angels, to fight with the Muslim, with the believers, with the Muslims of the Prophet ﷺ and the Muslims in Badr, to support them, to make sure that the upper hand go to the believer, the one who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, we cover, Juzz number 10, and we started with Surah Al-Anfal. That the Anfal, as I said, told you, just revealed after the Ma'arakat Badr, after Battle of Badr, which happened in 2 years of the Hijrah, in 17 days of Ramadan, during this month of Ramadan, alhamdulillah. So the blessing of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, everywhere. Not only the fasting, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even come to our Prophet ﷺ and his companion during the month of Ramadan. So this started even with the surah started with يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَنْفَالِ, and this is the name of the surah coming from this word al-Anfal. And in Arabic, Anfal comes from spoil of wars, the gain of wars. After the what the people, they when they fight with each other and one side takes victorious of the other side, and they gain all the spoil of war. That is called al-Anfal. That's it. Now, what did happen even before this? The Ma'arakat Badr, the Battle of Badr, that there is no law, and this is nobody even expected even to have a fight, because when this one happened, the Prophet ﷺ and the Muhajirin and part of they hear about the caravan of Quraysh coming out from Sham, going to Mecca, and they want to go and just take the caravan. Not really just expecting war against Quraysh, because they didn't have the means at that time, or they didn't have the preparation and the numbers and the all the tools they need to fight, and they were not expecting just really a fight. But however, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they left the Prophet ﷺ and about 300 people of the Muslims, they were expecting to go and just take the caravan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has different plan for the Muslims. They want to give him power. They want to give him power, and they were going to give him established their identity as a Muslim from now on, going forward. They didn't, no need for them to go after this dunya about take caravan. And the reason why even went through the caravan to take the caravan, you remember, when the Muslim immigrated from Mecca to Medina, what had happened to their property, to their homes, to their wealth? Quraysh took over. They didn't allow them to have anything. So the Prophet said, now Quraysh, caravan coming. Let's go and make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you to replace what you have lost during your hijrah, immigration from Mecca to Medina. So instead of going after the caravan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want them to have a victory. They change Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the plan into a different plan. So actually, just most of there's many Muslims, they stayed in the Medina because they were not expecting a war. The Prophet never talked, they're going to meet Quraysh and fight with Quraysh. So that's when they lagged behind. They didn't come with the Prophet to meet Quraysh army. So this one is about only around 300 people and so. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed a Qur'an during that their way there, because they already now traveled from Medina. They left Medina to meet the Quraysh caravan. Where at Badr place. Badr place at that time, it's just a place known as like resting area for the caravans. When they come and go, they rest there for a day or so, because they have springs and a good area to relax for a day or two at a small village, small town. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the believer. He said, وَإِذْ يَعِدُكُمُ اللَّهُ إِحْدَى الطَّائِفَتَيْنِ أَنَّهَا لَكُمْ وَتَوَدُّونَ أَنَّ غَيْرَ ذَاتِ الشَّوْكَةِ تَكُونُ لَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised you, all believers, all prophet of Allah, one of the party will be yours, one of the caravan or the army of Quraysh. It's already Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given it. Now, if the caravan is gone, then the army of Quraysh is going to be, inshallah, under your control. Under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you victory. However, some of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving the what's in our hearts as a believer at that time. Some of you, they were afraid of fighting Quraysh. Some of you, they disappointed when the caravan was left and you missed the caravan. That's you're gonna fight Quraysh. So even went deeper in the hearts of the believers. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him that promise. One of the two parties will be yours. So the Prophet, he was very pleased when the caravan, they missed the caravan. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving you one of the party. You missed the caravan. Now Quraysh army, inshallah, you will be victorious over them, and you will inshallah have the upper hand tomorrow when we meet. So at that time there is no law how to divide or distribute the law, the ghanaim, the spoil of wars. There's nothing happened before that. They didn't know how to distribute. No. This is what happened into this agreement, and that even to the companion after the war is done, when they collected all the spoil of war, how to distribute it? Everyone they want to have part of it without any just law how to distribute, how the share gonna be distributed among them. So now happened into the Prophet ﷺ did mashura, how to distribute the ghanam. And even the Sahaba themselves, this according into the Sunnah, the seer of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the seer of the Sahaba, they said after the war did happen, after they were victorious and we collected all the spoils, we were disagreed who should take who. So and they were even, they were they were very harsh with each other. If even they really just this is not the behavior of believers, to behave such something like that, to look after the worldly gain of ghanam, of spoil of war. This is the first time happened to them. They didn't know how to do it. So the Prophet ﷺ, he had the mashura with Abu Bakr, mashura with Umar, how to distribute that. And also, they didn't have all the spoil of war. Also, they have prisoner of war. Never happens. What to do with them now? They have 70 people prisoner of war. And you remember the Sahaba, they didn't have enough food even to feed themselves. Now they have 70 people of Meccan's army and under their control. What to do with them, those prisoners of war? So here comes the decision of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He decided to distribute the spoil of war equally among the people who attend the war. And during that war, there is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed the miracle of Allah supporting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and supporting the companions, and gave him clear victory when they are less in number, less in military gears, less in everything, and gave him clear victories. And more than that, the leaders of Quraysh, especially Abu Jahl, Utbah, ibn Rabi'ah, Shayb ibn Rabi'ah, the Umayyah ibn Khalaf, all the leaders of Quraysh, the one who came to that, they were killed. They absolutely humiliated Quraysh's army. And then, worse than that, they just ran away back to Mecca. It was a complete defeat for Quraysh's army. They were humiliated after that defeat. And more than that, they have 70 of prisoner of war that they were captured after the battle. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after the Prophet ﷺ made that decision, what to do, how to distribute the ghanam, and what to do with the war prisoner, they took him back to Medina, and they said each one has to be ransomed by certain amount of money, and if your family cannot, Meccan family cannot ransom their prisoner, each one of them at least to teach 10 Muslims how to read and how to write, so they can let them free. This is just as one way how to deal with it. This is new, as I said, new things happen into the Muslims' life. Something never happened before, and there is no law how to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after this one, he told the believers what did happen. And he said, they ask you about the Anfal, tell them the Anfal is not for you as just to fight among you, how to distribute it, how to get it. This Anfal for Allah and the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Rasul, how to distribute it, how to deal with it. And you, as a believer, as a mu'min, you're supposed to amend your relation. Fear Allah and amend your relation with each other. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after that, call the day of Badr the day of Furqan, a criterion between the right, which is the Islam, and clearing the wrong, which is the army of Quraysh and their believing of Asnam, the worshipping the Asnam. It's between worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Almighty, one God, against the worshipping many gods of Asnam. So this is the criterion Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it by its name. Yawm al-Furqan, the day of criterion. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just make a clear cut, being gave clear victory to the Islam and clear defeat to Quraysh and Islam. Now, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now how to distribute the ghanaim among them. He put the law for that. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also talked about the prisoner of war. He said at that time, you shouldn't take any ransom or shouldn't take them. You should have just, took care of them. Because this the first war, you don't know what Quraysh going to do after that. They're going to prepare themselves again and they're going to fight you again. You should really just not take in ransom for that. You should take care of them right there at the war time. But this is even the idea of saying Umar, radiallahu anhu, that he said we shouldn't take prisoner. We should just, consider them as a fighters, and we should kill them right away. But Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Abu Bakr, he had another idea. The Prophet ﷺ liked the idea of Abu Bakr to take ransom from the war prisoner. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, revealed the Qur'an just in the, just agreeing with the Umar's idea. Well, it's already done. And Allah, at the end of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that believers are friends of each other. The alliance in the Islam is to the Islam, to the believers among themselves, whether they're Muhajirin or the Ansars. Because alhamdulillah, right now one party, one body. And the kuffar, they're not disbelievers, they are allies of each other. Whatever they're mushriks, regardless of Arabs or non-Arabs, they're allies with each other. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to stay united as one ummah, and gave us a tool how to prepare from now on, how to prepare ourselves to be strong, how to fight to defend yourself and to fight against your enemy. You have to prepare yourself. Subhanallah, all this what happened in one surah. And also one of the miracles of the Ma'arakat Badr, the word of Prophet, that's the Malaika. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I supported you with the Malaika. Malaika, they attended the war field and they were fought with the Muslim to defeat the kuffar or the army of Quraysh. It's many, subhanallah, miracles happen in that day. And imagine if the believer they were lost that war, there won't be any Islam here right now. They won't have, that's because they're gonna kill the Prophet ﷺ on all the believers, and nobody will after that nothing, no Islam will be. But the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala greater than the plan of the disbelievers and the infidels. Allah plan and the other party plans, but the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take effect. And alhamdulillah for Ma'arakat Badr. Imagine that if they went after the caravan, and they had the caravan and they didn't meet the Quraysh army, they went that victory, the victory of Ma'arakat will not happen. But that's alhamdulillah. That is the greatest lesson for us, that the Battle of Badr happened, and the victory of Badr happened. The Quran revealed in the behalf of the Muslim, the one who fought in Badr, and the outcome of Badr, the law for distributing the Ghanaim happened, and Allah made the Ghanaim from that on is lawful for a Muslim to have spoil of war. All that happened, all that lesson happened after the Ma'arakat Badr. Those are very, very important, have you, brother and sister, inshallah, to read Surah Al-Anfal, to read it over and over, to understand it, to understand the lesson behind it. See how, subhanallah, there's many, that is it's marked the first battle in Islam, and the first victory in Islam. This is why after that, alhamdulillah, the people, the Muslim, they encouraged, they built their enthusiasm to fight their enemy again over and over. And this is why, alhamdulillah, the army of Islam just start building up, and the more moral boost up their morale to fight any of their enemy, regardless of Roman emperor or Persian emperor or whoever it is. They know that Allah subhanahu with them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help them to overcome any difficulties when they fight their enemy. And that's what it happened. Alhamdulillah, Allah gave them clear victory later on over the Persian emperor and over the Roman emperor, over everywhere. And then Islam, alhamdulillah, spread farther east to the farther west, and to that all the way to to Andalus and everywhere. That's alhamdulillah by the name of Allah. This is just when we understand our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we help ourselves, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come to us. So that's it conclude, the surah of Anfal. After Surah Al-Anfal, in Juzz number 10, comes in the Surah At-Tawbah. And Surah At-Tawbah also is also one of the latest surah as well. Latest surah in the Revelation. And this one also happened and after the conquer of even Makkah. And this one happened even during after Tabuk, Ghazwat Tabuk. Part of it is revealed on. And this surah different from the other surah in the Quran. The only surah in the Quran does not start with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It is no Bismillah not mentioned and at the beginning of the surah. And there is the scholars sometimes they have different interpretation. One interpretation of this one, when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you mention the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficial. The rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not fit the beginning of this surah. This surah is threatening the kuffar and cutting the relation of the mushrikeen. So it does not fit the rahmah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other scholar, they said it is really the surah continuation of Surah Al-Anfal. But however, Surah Al-Anfal happened like year number 2 of the Hijrah, and this one came later on, after year, almost, as a matter of fact, in part of it happened in year number 9. The Hajj of year number 9, when that year, the Hajj, the Prophet did not perform the Hajj, he put the Amir, the leader of the Hajj, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this surah, and he gave it to Ali ibn Abi Talib and went to Abu Bakr at that time, because at that time the mushrikeen, they allowed to do a Hajj together with the Muslims and everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from that time said, no more for mushriks to do pilgrims to Allah, to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want any infidels, or does not want any mushrik to perform Hajj or Umrah anymore. That's it. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this one, and also he filled the law. I mean, he said to make sure that you fulfill your treaty. If you have all Prophet of Allah or Muslims, you're given a treaty for non-Muslims, you have to fulfill your promises. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him 90 days for non-Muslims to amend their problems, and after 90 days they have no treaty whatsoever with the Prophet or the Muslims after that 90 days, that period of time. فَسِيحُ فِي الْأَرْضِ 4 months Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them. After 4 months of peace between you and the Muslims, after that, the Muslims allowed to fight you after that. No more, the treaty will be over. The peace treaty between us. And also in the Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also honoring, the 4 months of sacred months. and those sacred months, you're not supposed to fight in them. Except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala later on, He said, if somebody fight you in those sacred months, then you have the right even to fight them in the sacred months. And after that, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now gave us some guidelines as the Muslims. He's had to establish building the masajid. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gave us this the new law or the new thing to do, make sure those masajid built to worship only one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the one who inhabit those, the musallin, the one who go to the masajid, the one who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in unity of God, the oneness of Allah, the oneness of God. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is not a place, for the masajid, to harm somebody else, or to hide your kufr, or to do something like transaction or something in your masajid. Masajid only for worship, for ibadah, only for. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, those the disbeliever, the mushrikeen, they are not supposed to take part of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the Masjid al-Haram. And He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إنما يعمر مساجد الله من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة ولم يخش إلا الله فعسى أولئك أن يكونوا من المهتدين. This is that tell us the purpose of building the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the masajid, the mosque of Allah, the houses of Allah shall be visited and maintained by who? Such a believe in Allah and the last day, establish regular prayers and pay the zakah and fear none at all except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is they who are expected to be on true guidance. That is the one who's supposed to maintain the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the purpose of building the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone and alone. So inshallah, today we just stop at here, and tomorrow inshallah we continue with Surah At-Tawbah. There's many incident, many piece of history happened during that time of revelation of this Surah At-Tawbah, which has happened to be, Ghazwat Tabuk. And Ghazwat Tabuk, it was also happened that the Prophet ﷺ himself, he was the leader in that one. And we'll talk about it, inshallah, with tomorrow, because the time limitation for today. And inshallah, we'll draw more lessons. So, we conclude this Juzz 10 of the Quran with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gave us the clear victory to the Prophet ﷺ and Sahaba in Ma'arakat battle, the first battle in Islam, with few Muslims against the mighty army of Quraysh. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when the victory of Allah comes to you, there's no one can stop it, regardless of the numbers of your enemies, regardless of the mighty power of your enemy. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you, the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be with you. And also that's happened to you, the law of the engagement and the law of alliance and the law in Islam, and who we should be friend with, who should be enemy with, who should make our business with, and all that subhanallah, everything revealed into us through our guidance, the book of guidance in the Quran. Tell us what is halal and what is haram, what's halal to follow and what's haram not to follow. And remember, the month of Ramadan is the month of Quran, and the first battle in Islam happened during 17 days of Ramadan. Everything, mashallah, the blessing of Ramadan into us, not only fasting, will give us inshallah, a clear victory in each time. And also in the history of time, Ramadan is month of blessing, month of victory. And happened to be Ain Jalut when the other Muslims, they fought the Crusaders. It happened in Ramadan. So Ramadan is month of victory. May Allah give us tawfiq. May Allah give us understanding. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان. اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان. اللهم بلغنا ليلة القدر. اللهم بلغنا ليلة القدر يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا في الإيمان. اللهم اجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا ودستور حياتنا. اللهم علمنا منه ما جهلنا وذكرنا ما نسينا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار. Don't forget, Ikhwan, inshallah, to do your Isha prayer, for Rak'at Isha prayer, and do your Taraweeh with your family. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.